So we're back on the Sonoma build, part 2. It's been raining off and on here quite frequently, so I'm taking the time to piddle a little bit in between each spurt. I've dropped the steering column. It's not out, but I've just dropped it so I can start to pull the dash off. As you can tell, I've pulled the speakers out. Somebody did put aftermarket speakers, kickers in there. Probably set them aside. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but they're decent. I know it looks like a total mess in here. You know, I've got a big old piece of cardboard with bolts from my front end just so I could save them, set them aside. I did put this aside just in case, but this dash just tells a story. Like, it's actually really clean. I've seen a nick on the side, but there's a little nick right there. The speaker covers were missing. I did have this. There's a crack there as well, not from me. It is the original dash because it is becoming heat warped at the tip and separating there and there. But I don't know how they spilt stuff on here. Don't really care that much. But if you've ever taken apart an S10 or a Sonoma, there's your box for your defrost. And for some reason, there's just glass all over it, all up in there. And I'm sure I'd find it down in there. And there's a paper clip in there. There was glass all under the steering column. You can see a big old chunk of it. And it is not, I don't believe it's glass from a Sonoma. Especially that big old chunk right there telling me that. Because if you know anything about automotive glass, it's safety glass. So when it shatters into a lot of little pieces. Except for the windshield. But I don't think the windshield is just going to spatter off huge pieces like that. Me being one who's also broken a windshield in a S10. But slowly pulling the harness out just in case I need to reuse the harness, saving all the connections just in case. There's the airbag connection. You can always tell that by the yellow wire shrink wrap and the yellow connector. And then this one actually has a tag on it telling you don't mess with it. But if you want a tip for your airbags, pull the battery out 3 days ahead of time if you ever want to mess with that, because it still has enough battery life in it 3 days after anything before 3 days to actually set the airbag off. So we're gonna try and get the rest of this out. I've still got to undo a couple of things down here, maybe a couple things back there, but I'm gonna try and leave the harness in for right now, because my main goal was to try and get a little bit of that off, maybe. But it's looking like it's gonna rain, and I was told that we could have a windstorm here shortly, so that might make it a little difficult. But I've gotten all the wiring from this side out of the dash, as you can tell by our fuse panel and other bits and pieces. I've still got to pull out all the wiring for the radio. It's all back into there. There was a little bit on this side, which I was able to get it out. I've already loosened up all our vents for our AC and heat, but I've still got a little bit that's down in there, and there's some wires that run up under it that way. So this we're gonna leave because I do have an when it's not aftermarket, it's an original S10 steering wheel, but it's from an 88, which I just like the look of it. It is a automatic steering column, so it does have the point for the shifter, but I have removed the shifter because I was using it in a manual truck, and this will be a manual truck again, or will become a manual truck, should I say. Brackets, bits and pieces from all that. I'll also be relocating the e-brake, so it will not be this, it won't be that release, it won't be any of that. I'll have my own custom setup. I've also got to pull all the foam, and it looks like rubber as well, for the heat shield and firewall, so that I can get to those holes so I don't have to worry about anything catching on fire when I go to weld up on the firewall, make it clean and flush. So let's try and get this thing out. Remember, don't let your beer get warm. Or remember, don't let your cold beverage get warm. It's not too good after that. No free brand deals. I can be a little rough with it because I don't plan on reusing this dash, but it's not to say I'm not going to see if somebody needs it. So if you happen to know somebody that may want this dash, act fast because I'm not. It's going to the first person. Seems like we actually still have a hold down. Oh yeah, you're way in there too. I got a long flathead. It did not come off. Usually I hit my head and say a swear word, but yeah. Let's see what's kind of holding us up a little bit. Screw out, and we should be able to pull this whole production system out. Look at there. It's on heads, and he saved his penny earned. Oh, there we go. That's gonna make life way easier. That's also probably going in the trash. There she is right there. See if I can get that out with my fingers. Or not. Come on, you. A little bit more. Use a fighter. That works too, I guess. Make sure the airbag wire is not wrapped around anything. You all disconnected already? This side was easy. They still got the light. Here at the bottom of the dash. And it's held on with a screw. Still got the bulb in it too. We might save that. Boom. Oh. It's got a little weight to it. I don't know how long it's gonna last back there with rain, but I don't need it. I don't have space in the garage for it, so. Well, that was quick. There's the dash off. Tempted to kind of clean it up in here. Nah, we'll wait till we're done. At least getting all this crap off. Got box cutters, there it is. You can sit, it's a seat. We don't need that vacuum right now, do we? Nah. It wasn't important. It comes off. It ain't important. Oh. Oh. There's a lesson for you, kids. Be careful with a razor blade. That did just totally get my finger. But I got the cure for that. You know I'm not an alcoholic? It's my first one today. I mean, a cold beverage. Used to working with just, warm beverages, like room temperature water and stuff like that. Tell you what, it's getting a little cramped in here. Come on now. There you go. You ever need to wipe off your finger? Just wipe it on wherever you're working. And put your hand in glass. That's definitely what you're supposed to do. Right in the soft area of my wrist. That's fine. That's fine. Is there anything up here? Okay. So, looks like this just separates it. Oh, they go around all the way to the back. Maybe we take them ones at the bottom. Loose, maybe it'll come off. Oh, hold on. Promise, this is my first time doing this on a truck with AC. So there's a lot more on this one than the last one I did. Oop, that's a something we don't need to mess with. Shouldn't have to take any of that off. A bunch more of those vacuum lines. Don't need you. Let's see if the Ugga Dugga can get them bottom bolts off and get it free and then disconnect those. Keep it on there. I'm throwing all these bolts into a bed, just in case. So if I ever need a bolt from this specific build, or this specific build, they're there. And I don't have to go searching or go to Ace. I'll still have to search a little bit, but it won't be as bad. I know this is a portion of our ECU, I do believe. Not correct me in the comments, but I want that off of there. Unfortunately, I don't have a 7/32 and 3/8 drive, so I have it in 1/4 inch, but I don't have a 1/4 inch impact. So more reliable right here. Boop. And she's still on the other side. I'm gonna say she's still on there. So wonderful weather we've been having, isn't it? Maybe for y'all, but not for me. But I guess not if you live in Florida as well. But during the time of me filming this, they are actually getting that hurricane. Truthfully, I think I'm about to just... Oh? Tell me you just popped out of there. Well, butter my biscuits. I don't even know where that last one would have been, but don't worry about that. I don't know how much of this we're going to be removing this episode, but as much as we think we need to. extension. And I don't know what I did with it. I'm not sitting on it. Set this out here. Huh. What did I do with that extension? No, y'all just loving watching me just piddle around and not really do much. There it is. Not much, a whole lot, I guess. But if you're watching this far, go ahead and drop a like. Or comment what I need to do better for the videos. I'm trying to upload a little bit more frequently. I don't know, once a week, if that'll even qualify as a little bit more frequently, but I'll do what I can. I've got projects lined up, so me filming them helps me get them done. I'll take that. Helps me get my stuff done. I'll give you something minor and inconsistent to watch. Okay, there's our door speaker wires there. Those I may just snip off. 'Cause I don't plan on running. At this moment, I don't plan on running any kind of sound system in here. The only sounds I'll be hearing is the tumble of a V8. Not a V8, a V6, for now. Once that motor's in here and this truck is riding and driving, I'm going to work on trying to find a much bigger motor. Most of you would say, oh, maybe a 305, maybe a 350. No. Bigger. Bigger to the point where I may have to send the frame of this truck off to actually be reinforced by professionals. Just so nothing bad happens. Just taking this off for the time, not really the time being. I know I eventually have to take it off anyway, but hey, those are some nice nutserts. Oh yeah, no, they're just washers that are stamped in there. That is really clean paint under there, actually. Most of this video is just going to be me messing around in here until I feel like I've either sweat too much or want to go inside and relax. Going around until then. I know you can't really see a whole lot of what I'm doing, but there's a flapper built into your dash. I should probably leave that on there just for now. That's straight out into the sunlight without sun, but I mean, we're fairly disconnected. I'd like to be able to just pull everything to one side, though. We got this little black one. Fighting. There it goes. Now I can pull these ones other than the brown one. Go over here. I gotta figure out where this little brown one is attached at. I feel like this whole box is going to be a pain to get out. That's the dome light wires. Probably won't have a dome light, honestly, either. That might. Let me know if you'd like to see a starlight roof. Because this roof could use some new upholstery, but it's not bad, actually. I mean, as you can tell, the sun visors are a little worse for the wear, but I mean, you can't ask for better than that for a 98. I mean, you could, but are you actually gonna get it?
This is just a lot of small wire disconnecting to get the that out. Probably gotta take the throttle pedal and all that out. Let's just mess with this for a second, see how far we can get. So I got 4 little screws here, 5 on that one. Let's just see how close we can get to opening this up and hopefully revealing some bolts on the back here so it just comes right off. I probably still will have to get to that little unit in the back of there. Where they pull that heating element out. Get it all the way out. Oh, I gotta switch to the 1/4 inch mini ratchet. Kind of sucks to this spot. Glad to have the dash out though. It's already definitely opened up enough to where I can actually kind of sit in here. It's definitely separated. How far can we actually get it to separate? Truthfully, I can be as destructive as plastic stuff as I want to be because I'm not going to use any of it. I don't think anybody else really will. You're not. It doesn't come with a factory. Most people, unless you're my generation, would like to keep it factory. But it's not a factory build. Far from it. I actually thinking about getting new door panels. I hate the way these look, and if that requires me to have to get new doors, I might get new doors. I also hate the way these mirrors look. I love the ones on my 94, which I may just order new mirrors and do sheet metal door panels. I always love the way those look, especially in a drag truck / show truck. I'm already sweating a good deal. Humidity here is not the best, kind of on the high side, but it is what it is. This little stuff just keeps coming off. It's probably because it's the first time in well over 20 years that any of this is. Look at that. Peel up the spider. Kind of tended to just kind of give it a good old yeet. It wants to come off. Might have to pull all this stuff out of the way. But she's all behind that. I don't know if I want to save that or not. I'm thinking I do. That motor's probably going to be a little warm back there. Up there. But at the same time, this thing has got to come off. It does not have a choice at this point. I hate these tight screws. I can't even get to that one with a little 7/32 and a 1/4 inch mini bracket. There's another one back in there that's a little bit more possible to get to, but oh shoot, I might have to do this off camera just so I don't bore you all to death. Yeah, I feel like it wants to come off. It's also plastic. That's a decent sized little piece of glass. Ooh, we got a nice pop. Let me look in the engine bay. What? Let's see if there's anything that happens if you hang it up. Possibly? I don't think this would be it, honestly. I'll be good. That was one. That was one that was for sure holding us up. Bring that back up there. I think now at this point I'm gonna have glass everywhere. Oh yeah. Down there. I gotta be careful what I do. There's that black one, or that brown one that was giving us trouble. And then another press clip? I don't know. I forget the name of these things. It's just held together with, held on it with electrical tape. Common theme that I've noticed. I don't even think I'd have been able to get to that anyway. Brake already. There wasn't even a nut or anything holding anything with it. Keep all that on there. Just in case. Probably not going to use it either. Get this out of our way too. And boom, she's already looking way better. I think I have to already cover this thing with a tarp because I've got a hole here, a hole here. That's a nice sized hole. Huh. I think I'm going to have to cut some of them little nuts and whatnot out. Couldn't tell you what this cable went to though. Wrong cable. We'll put you back. Something like that. Got a rubber stopper on there. Got a couple little odds and ends. We got some grounds down here. Yeah, just feeling forward. Wow. Firewall on this end is actually looking pretty clean. Doing this, I'm gonna go to start it and not wonder why it don't start. 2 ground wires right there under your carpet, or under your this would be sound deadening. I've got to pull the carpet anyway, so yeah. So we got, of course, this as well, but that's held on just with stickies. I already got to put a tarp over the front, so I guess I could take it off. Come on. Oop. You see silly excess water in there in the drain, where hot little pile of sticks and whatnot in here. Extra glue from the end rust under their freaking glue job. bare metal under a certain part. I'm gonna have to, unfortunately, have to stick my hand in that and get her cleaned out. I really don't want to do that. But I'll stick this back up here for right now. We got a couple of these simple little press clips, something like dowels. Oh no, they seem to come out. They seem to come out. It'll come out eventually. Downside is I want it out now. Now we're ready. From this side over, other than that one there, which is no longer a problem. This side's there. And it does look like I will have to take this off. Steering column's already got to come out, but I'll save that for now. Looks like it's just, from where I'm at now, it's just a single bolt on the shaft. And then all the wiring, which all the connections and whatnot are under there. I wouldn't doubt they're all braced into this. So when I go to take that down, it should have a main connector. I can just disconnect it. Of course, we got a whole wire spool running under here. I'm sure it runs to that and up into there, and then up our 8 pillars. Those wires, I think, go to the lamps. That, and I think that is tied into the dome light is tied into the brake light. But I think we're done for today. I am as sweaty as can be. I'll show you where we're at. I'll walk you in and whatnot, show you around. So this is where we're at now. That nest I was talking about. Look back at the other clip. Didn't know it was 25-ish minutes long, but they're the holes I was talking about, and straight out, yeah, straight out. Those are the holes I'm gonna fill in, and a lot of these little bolts and whatnot I gotta cut out, make it nice and flush. I don't know if I'm gonna put that shielding back in, but yeah, that's about where we're at for today. I might piddle around a little bit more, but I'll do that off camera. But yeah. One bolt for the steering column's up under that yellow collar there. But, heck yeah. Good bit of progress. I know it may not seem like it to y'all, but it helps me get it done faster. You know, recording it helps me get it done faster, and I'm enjoying it a little bit. Keeps me from throwing stuff. You know, you work on stuff, you know what I'm talking about. But genuinely, I think I'm gonna call it here. I can't turn the just how I'm holding it. I'm not gonna turn it around. Do appreciate y'all watching the video this far, if you have. But I think I'm calling it. Y'all take care and have a good night.